Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to take a deep breath and imagine something extraordinary that's happening inside you right now. An incredible network of highways, more than 60,000 miles long, stretching through every inch of your body. These highways aren't made of asphalt or concrete. They're made of life itself, your blood vessels. They deliver oxygen, nutrients, and energy to every cell, every organ, every tissue. Without them, nothing in your body can function, not your heart, not your brain, not even your skin. As a vascular surgeon, I've spent my life looking inside these miraculous channels, and every time I do, I'm reminded that the difference between health and disease is written in these very arteries. But what most people don't realize is that this incredible network can be destroyed silently. Not by age, not by fate, but by choices. And what I'm about to tell you can truly change the way you look at food, health, and life itself. Every artery in your body has a purpose. It's not just a hollow tube, it's a living, breathing organ. It expands and contracts with every heartbeat, like a symphony perfectly in tune with the rhythm of your life. Lining the inside of every artery is a single, fragile layer of cells called the endothelium. It's thinner than a strand of hair, yet it's one of the most vital parts of your body. It controls blood flow, blood pressure, and even healing. When the endothelium is healthy, blood glides through smoothly like a calm river. But when it's damaged, the surface becomes sticky. That stickiness is where trouble begins. Cholesterol sticks, inflammation starts, and slowly, the river of life turns into a clogged drain. Now, the real tragedy is that this process often starts decades before we ever feel a symptom. I've seen patients in their 20s with early signs of arterial damage, and I've seen people in their 70s with arteries so clean they looked like they belonged to someone half their age. The difference isn't luck, it's lifestyle. It's what we put into our bodies, how we move, how we handle stress, and how we care for this miracle system we've been given. The truth is, your genes might load the gun, but your habits pull the trigger. And the good news is, you have the power to take that trigger away. I remember the first time I opened up an artery during surgery. I was still young, still full of curiosity and awe for what the human body could do. What I saw changed me forever. The vessel looked strong on the outside, but when we cut into it, the inside was hardened, filled with plaque, layers and layers of damage caused by years of inflammation and neglect. I remember thinking, this didn't happen overnight. This was a slow, quiet buildup. And yet, I've also had the privilege of seeing the opposite. Arteries that looked clean, flexible, and young even in older patients who cared deeply for their health. That contrast taught me one powerful truth. Aging doesn't destroy arteries. Habits do. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand something. What clogs your arteries isn't just cholesterol or fat. It's inflammation. It's oxidative stress. It's the foods and behaviors that trigger microscopic damage every single day. Sugar, processed oils, smoking, stress. They don't just hurt your waistline or your mood, they physically attack your arteries. They damage that delicate endothelial layer and create small tears. Your body tries to heal those tears by patching them with cholesterol. Over time, those patches harden and grow, turning into plaques that narrow the passageways of your life. And one day, those plaques can rupture, causing a heart attack or a stroke. It's not sudden, it's silent. It builds up quietly until it explodes. As a vascular surgeon, I've seen too many people come to me when it's already too late, when they need a bypass or a stent to survive. But what breaks my heart is that so many of those surgeries could have been avoided. Because the truth is, your body was designed to heal itself. It wants to stay open, clean, and healthy. Every time you choose the right food, the right movement, the right mindset, you're helping your arteries repair. And every time you make the wrong choice, you're making their job harder. The magic lies in awareness. When you understand how your arteries work, you begin to make better decisions. Not out of fear, but out of love for the life you still have to live. I often tell my patients, your arteries are like the roots of a tree. If the roots are healthy, the whole tree thrives. But if the roots are clogged, dry, or diseased, no matter how green the leaves look, the tree is dying from the inside. That's what happens with vascular disease. It doesn't announce itself. It grows silently beneath the surface while you go about your life. You might feel tired, you might get headaches, or you might think it's just stress or age. But deep inside, your arteries are struggling to keep the blood flowing. And when they finally can't, the damage can be irreversible. But the beauty of human biology is this: even a damaged tree can grow new roots if you start nurturing it again. Now, I know it can sound overwhelming. After all, we live in a world filled with fast food, stress, and habits that make it easy to forget our health. But here's the hope: every small change makes a difference. When you replace sugary drinks with water, your arteries thank you. When you swap fried foods for real, whole meals, your endothelium begins to heal. When you walk, breathe deeply, or sleep better, your blood vessels relax and expand. Healing is not a miracle, it's biology responding to kindness. And I want you to think about that every time you eat, every time you move, every time you take a moment for yourself. Your arteries are listening. They feel what you feed them. They react to every choice you make. The most fascinating thing I've seen in my years of research is that vascular health is not just about avoiding disease. It's about energy, focus, and longevity. When your blood flow is strong and your arteries are clear, your brain works better, your muscles recover faster, your skin looks younger, and your heart beats more efficiently. That's the real definition of youth. Not the number of years you've lived, but how well your arteries carry the flow of life through you. Let me tell you something most people don't realize. We are not victims of our health, we are participants. We shape it every single day. The food on your plate is information, not just calories. It tells your body to heal or to hurt. It tells your arteries to open up or to close down. I've seen patients who reversed years of arterial stiffness by changing their diet, their oil, their sugar intake, and their mindset. I've seen people who walked into my clinic exhausted and came back months later looking 10 years younger. And the difference wasn't in medication. It was in understanding the power of their own choices. I remember a patient who told me, "Doctor, I wish I had known this 20 years ago." And I told him, the best time to start was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. That's the truth for all of us. It's never too late to heal. The human body is built to forgive, but you must give it the chance to do so. You must remove the things that damage your arteries and embrace the things that nourish them. That's how you reclaim your health, your vitality, and your life. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we begin this journey together, I want you to think of your body as the most incredible machine ever built. One that doesn't need upgrading, just care. You have the power to keep your arteries clear, to keep your blood flowing, and to stay young from the inside out. The key lies not in magic pills or fancy diets, but in the simple, powerful choices you make every day. Because when your arteries are healthy, everything else follows. Your mind clears, your energy rises, your heart beats stronger, and life simply feels better. The path to longevity doesn't start in the doctor's office. It starts in your kitchen, in your mindset, in your willingness to take responsibility for your health. And I promise you this: once you begin to understand the hidden power of your vascular system, you'll never look at food, stress, or aging the same way again. Your arteries are whispering to you every day: choose wisely, live kindly, and let the river of life flow freely. Because that's where true health begins, deep within, with every single heartbeat that keeps you alive. Ladies and gentlemen, picture this: it's early morning, the world is just waking up, and you're standing in your kitchen preparing breakfast. You might pour yourself a bowl of cereal, maybe add a spoonful of sugar to your coffee, grab a slice of toast, and rush out the door. Seems harmless, right? But what if I told you that in those few moments, you may have already triggered the very process that clogs your arteries? I'm not exaggerating. As a vascular surgeon who has studied the body's circulatory system for decades, I've seen how small daily choices can lead to massive consequences inside the body. Today, I want to take you deep beneath the surface, into the microscopic world of your arteries, to show you the three things I personally avoid, because they are the fastest way to destroy your circulation, age your arteries, and shorten your life. Let's start with the first and perhaps most deceptive culprit: sugar. Sweet, comforting, addictive sugar. It hides in everything, from your morning yogurt to your salad dressing, from fruit juices labeled healthy to sauces you'd never expect. The danger with sugar isn't just that it causes weight gain or spikes your energy for a moment. It's that it directly injures your arteries at the cellular level. When you consume sugar, your blood glucose levels surge. That surge forces your body to release insulin, which works overtime to bring your blood sugar back down. But while this battle goes on inside you, your blood vessels are paying the price. The endothelium, that thin, elegant lining of your arteries, is extremely sensitive. When excess sugar floods your bloodstream, it causes oxidative stress, creating tiny cracks and tears in that lining. Your body, trying to protect itself, sends cholesterol to patch up the damage. But that patch isn't perfect. It builds up layer after layer, forming plaque. Over time, those plaques narrow the arteries, restrict blood flow, and make your heart work harder. You might not feel it right away. You might just feel a little tired after meals, a little sluggish, maybe notice your skin aging faster or your focus fading. But make no mistake, sugar is silently attacking your arteries with every spoonful. I've seen this damage firsthand. During surgery, I've opened arteries that looked fine from the outside, only to find the inside corroded by years of high sugar consumption. It doesn't matter if the sugar came from soda, desserts, or even so-called healthy foods with hidden sweeteners. The effect is the same. And what's even more alarming is how early it starts. Young adults, even teenagers, are already showing early signs of arterial stiffness. Sugar is the fuel of inflammation, and inflammation is the enemy of blood flow. So, as a vascular surgeon, I avoid added sugar like poison, because in many ways, that's what it is to the body, a sweet, tasting toxin that slowly erodes your inner highways of life. Now, let's talk about the second thing I avoid, something most people believe is harmless, even healthy. I'm talking about ultra-processed vegetable oils. You've probably seen them: soybean oil, corn oil, canola oil, sunflower oil. They're marketed as heart healthy. They're used in restaurants, fast foods, and packaged snacks, and they've become a staple in kitchens around the world. But the truth is, these oils are far from natural. They're industrially produced, chemically refined, bleached, and deodorized to make them look appealing and taste neutral. During that process, they become oxidized. And once they enter your body, they create inflammation. Think of it this way: your blood vessels thrive on balance. They need flexible walls, smooth surfaces, and the right type of fats to function properly. Natural fats like those found in olive oil, avocado, nuts, and fatty fish support this balance. But refined oils do the opposite. They increase oxidative stress, lower your body's nitric oxide production, and make your arteries stiffer. I've seen patients who cook every day with these oils and wonder why their cholesterol numbers or blood pressure never improve, even though they're eating low-fat meals. The reason is simple. It's not about fat quantity, it's about fat quality. When I switched to using extra virgin olive oil and healthy fats in my own diet, I saw the science come to life. Studies show that olive oil helps your arteries relax, improves blood flow, and reduces inflammation markers. That's not marketing. That's biochemistry. In contrast, when your diet is dominated by refined seed oils, your arteries become more prone to inflammation and plaque buildup. These oils contain high levels of omega-6 fatty acids, which in excess throw your body's natural inflammation control system completely out of balance. So, whenever I see a food label with soybean oil or corn oil, I put it back. Because I've seen where those oils end up, coating the insides of arteries like sludge. And then, there's the third thing I avoid. And this one might surprise you, because it's not food. It's chronic stress. As a surgeon, I've learned that what happens in the mind profoundly affects the body. Stress isn't just a feeling, it's a full body reaction. When you're under constant pressure, deadlines, conflict, lack of sleep, your body floods itself with stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones constrict your arteries, increase your blood pressure, and make your blood stickier, all of which accelerate the process of plaque formation. Over time, this chronic tension keeps your vessels in a state of emergency. They lose their flexibility. They stay narrowed, your heart works harder, and your immune system becomes confused, attacking the very tissues it's meant to protect. I've met patients who eat perfectly, exercise regularly, and yet their arteries still show damage. The missing piece was stress. They lived their lives in a constant fight or flight mode, and that inner turbulence aged their arteries as much as bad food would. But here's the hopeful part. Just as the body responds to harm, it also responds to healing. When you take time to breathe deeply, to meditate, to connect with people you love, to sleep well, your body produces nitric oxide, a molecule that helps your arteries open up and relax. It's nature's own medicine. A simple walk in nature, a few minutes of gratitude, or even listening to calm music can literally improve your circulation. That's how powerful your mind-body connection is. Ladies and gentlemen, when I put all of this together, avoiding added sugar, avoiding refined oils, and managing stress, I see miracles happen, not in theory but in reality. Patients who once needed medication to control their blood pressure start improving naturally. People who felt tired, foggy, and old begin to feel younger, sharper, more alive. Their arteries, once stiff, start to recover flexibility. Their blood flow improves. They glow differently. That's the power of giving your body what it truly needs. And let me be clear, this isn't about perfection. It's about awareness. You don't have to quit everything overnight. Start small. Cut back on sugar one drink at a time. Swap your cooking oil for olive oil. Take a few minutes every day to just breathe. Your arteries will notice. Your heart will notice. You'll begin to feel lighter, more energetic, more vibrant. Because when your circulation improves, everything improves. Your brain gets more oxygen, your skin gets more nutrients, and your organs function better. The beauty of this approach is that it's not complicated. You don't need a prescription or a new gadget. You need knowledge and consistency. Every bite you eat, every thought you think, every emotion you hold, they all send signals to your arteries. They're either healing or harming. And once you realize that, you start to see health differently. You start to understand that every meal is an opportunity, every breath is a chance to restore balance, and every heartbeat is a reminder that your body is working for you, not against you. So, as a vascular surgeon, I live by this simple rule: protect your arteries, and they will protect you. Avoid the three things that clog them: sugar, processed oils, and chronic stress. And your body will do the rest. It will heal, it will rejuvenate, it will flow. Your arteries are not just pipes carrying blood, they're the living rivers of life. Keep them clear, and you'll feel that vitality in every corner of your being. Ladies and gentlemen, you are not powerless. You are the author of your health story. Every day, you have the chance to choose healing over harm, strength over sickness, and vitality over decline. It begins with awareness, grows through discipline, and blossoms into longevity. Take care of your arteries, and they will carry you through a long, energetic, and fulfilling life. Because in the end, the best surgery is the one you never need, the one your own choices made unnecessary. And that, my friends, is the real secret to living with a strong heart, a clear mind, and a body that thrives for decades to come.